as everyone else about making the little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Viamant, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamant. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. But now, the little OC...
As you all know already, the troop, we took on side. So, anyway, one day, it seemed like a win-win. The drink in question was...
Isn't that the drink paddled by the cop?
I freaked out, but she didn't. The merchant, what? I was going to sort it on my own, but things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There.
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie wasn't... What do you mean? You were afraid? This was a life and death situation. How could you be so
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the—
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get lost! I don't ever want to
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using...
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but... isn't she your hero already? After everything she did?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve if you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home... What are you laughing at? I don't...
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that... for a moment there... It felt like our director was back with... If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really...
What you said,
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but...
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending.
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running, the end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that Aurelie left behind, Perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final day.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on O'Reilly's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your...
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
Squall and Fury!
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show with a different
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence.
Lachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims...
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourself.
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This... If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness.
Isn't that the most important line in the little...
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time.
The wind rises.
Strike a pose! Ah.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life,
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrifice. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside...
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them before?
Don't underestimate my experience. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role. And aren't human emotions love, hate, regret, and hope I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make up during the curtain call. Please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But that...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that,
Now we're talking. All right. I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't...
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary...
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that O'Reilly's story is
No, though that's...
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
I have... I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. I know just where...
During the final scene, maybe we should stop the music just before Cleo takes the stage?
First Miss Farina, now the opera epiclese? If only the director would...
Hey, come on. There's no point in...
Yeah, you're right. Now's not the time to get all melancholy.
Best of luck to you.
Hey, look at that! Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing?
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, traveler in Paimon.
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see the story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to... I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
What do you mean?
Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about... In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind... Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return?
Why would you suddenly have...
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding...
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again, nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be...
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy. Be it all, I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervilette.
You are very welcome. Many people were once enthralled by Lady Farina's performances. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Squall and Fury.
Ah. The show begins.
The wind rises. Ha! Behold! Too slow.
Good news, everyone. It's done. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity. But we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, now, let's work together and make this...
This is true.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with...
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation.
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured...
It's amazing. Even though Farina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's real...
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage! If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, O little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to...
Why?
Hey, what's going on? You're due on Oh no, not again. But
They've been getting less and less effective over time.
what? I thought they cure it. So
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
how could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my...
I'm sorry.
You... This is a conversation...
Miss Farina?
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know. Loic, your character has no more scenes.
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line, but
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime...
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after...
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets. Myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by...
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and what, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so...
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure. She never...
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Is she here yet?
Will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies, et la cité elle nourrit, ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
But what about your wish?
My... wish...
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté, et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as super.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself. Still, I have to admit it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on!
Oh, so it was. She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down, don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contribution. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy?
Let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Swan Fury!
Did anyone see where Miss Farina went? Oh, I want to get her autograph.
Oh, brilliant!
I thought Cleo's actress sang very well. Why did they swap her out at the end?
I don't know. Maybe that's just how it was scripted.
Behold!
I wasn't expecting such an incredible performance from an amateur troupe. They didn't seem out of place on the.
Yeah, their technique could use some polish, but the performance in general felt very believable. Hit all the right emotion.
What a surprise, seeing Miss Farina on the stage.
Yeah, I agree. Say what you want about her, but she's flawless. Behold!
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be—
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and...
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's worked. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that—
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
So, any plans for the next step? After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there.
No, we should
Yeah, it's what we all agree.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe...
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our directors and...
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep...
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss Farina? Any...
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that maybe Nervillette was right. Maybe Cleo is... I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all. Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, but from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people, and I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then, if a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
I'm just finishing packing up. As soon as I'm done, I've got an inner... Thanks to all your help, the show was more perfect than we ever could have hoped for. But most of all, I want to thank you for giving me the chance to finally...
Now that the buzz is worn off, I feel ready to pass out.
I mean, of course I have some...
There'll be plenty of opportunities in the future for us to tell the stories that we want on stage.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've rekindled the It might turn out to be too little, too late for me. But
ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Thank you for